Good morning, Brandon Hardison, President of Champion Strategies, for another session of public speaking tips. Once again, we do it for all comers, all takers. Many of you are new, especially the teachers. We congratulate you. Those new managers, supervisors, we congratulate you. Now you're into leadership, or maybe you wanted to be a public speaker and the virus hit, and now you have this box. Well, we always say there's materials out there that you can pay for some outstanding institutions, or you may feel that I can do this on my own. I just need to watch a series of videos. And hey, either way works as long as you practice. As long as you practice, you're in the game. So we're going to pick it up from yesterday where we were talking about now you want to introduce public speaking to children. Great thing to do. But we told you yesterday, hey, don't call it public speaking. Allow them some time to work in groups together. Impromptu is a great way of doing it. I say this because I taught public school for 10 years on the secondary level. And not only was I coach of the debate team and mock trial team, which were state winners, you can also do some great things in the classroom as far as getting your students feeling comfortable speaking in front of small or large group audience. So let's just look at part two of some of the things when we're talking about working with students in public speaking. So another tip, teach reason and message before technique. Reason and message. See, these are students, unlike adults, but oftentimes we rush into teaching kids public speaking techniques because we're taught to, but they haven't tried to speak in front of a crowd yet. So, public speaking is like trying to learn how to drive a car. How do we learn? We have to take the car, understand where the parking brake is. You know the basics. Well, the same thing when it comes to teaching children public speaking. We start slow, we build up to the techniques as we go on. If you want to race drive a car, obviously there's a lot more that comes into it. If you want your children to accelerate, if you will, in public speaking, there's a lot of things that go into it. But my thing is, don't let the technique, let the message come out first. Let them feel comfortable with the content. Another thing is, give lots of positive feedback. Remember, we're trying to build them up. We're trying to give them support. There's so many adults that go to jobs right now and their supervisors, their managers don't get this leadership role as they beat them down in large group settings instead of closing the door and talking them to as an adult. Constructive criticism, constructive criticism, and I'm talking to you, parents, guardians, is no different than coaching and working with your children. Let's take ways that we can build them up and still show them where their mistakes are. Because when we build our children up and give them positive feedback, now they'll find a way inside of them to go to that next level. You see, public speaking can be learned naturally if you do it over and over again. That's where that practice comes in. Or if you absolutely have to give constructive criticism, how about trying this? Try to sandwich it, if you will, two positive comments. Right? That's your bread. So always go with something that's positive. Now I'm going to bring in what we think we can improve on and then end it with another positive statement. What do you think that child or any person is hearing? Here's where I think the improvement needs to be, because if we get an opportunity to straighten out that part in the speech, wow, you're going to knock it out the park because your ending is so tremendous. You sandwich it. Another tip, oh, I've been using this for decades. I used it when I coached football, track. We were always state champions on the high school level. I still use it today training adults. Video. I don't know why you wouldn't video. You can always refer back to the video. Video is about taking what they've done, and whether they like it or not, they see themselves. It's about neuro linguistic programming. Some people are auditory, some people are visual, some people are kinesthetic, touchy feely, or a combination. But I do know when I see as I'm practicing that I missed that step. Believe me, they get the point. No need to drive it home. My generation is different than the current generation, but what never changes is the mistakes. Because when you clean up those mistakes, that's how you take it to the next level. And that's what we want to do for our children if you're teaching them public speaking. Not only if we're doing an exercise, or maybe you want to make this an elongated thing for semester or maybe both semesters. That's on you in various ways. And then the last one that I'll give you for the day is that don't mark on our kids. Don't label them too fast. And either way, you're the best, you're down here. Let them know as a team, because we're working as a team. Here's where the team is at. What can we do to rise the elevation of the team when it comes to completing this assignment? Remember, it's a group assignment. We're going to disguise it as public speaking. But when we do things like this, we make public speaking fun for kids. If you can find a way to do some of these things, you will be outstanding and on your way. Getting your students to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I should try out for the mock trial team. Maybe I should try out for the debate team. And remember, when it comes to debate, we also have Lincoln Douglas, an individual versus a team, because their skill sets are a little bit different. All I can tell you is that when you get your youngsters to enjoy and appreciate public speaking as a young age, it helps them grow, not only when they get older, but filling out the balance of their transcripts, getting involved in the community, or maybe they're going for a job. I interview a lot of youngsters nowadays, and many of them do not know how to handle a job interview. They cannot articulate, and they may be good, but that resume is just a piece of paper to anybody on this side of the desk. The person on the other side of the desk must make that resume come alive. It's their story. They have to pat themselves on the back and explain to us why they're the best thing and they would fit for our company. All this starts at the beginning when they're children. So if you're a teacher out there, find a way to introduce public speaking. It is only going to help them as they grow in their profession. So with that said, Brandon Hardison, as always, imparting, go out and make it a champion.